Hello, it's me, Paden Rumsey. For those of you who don't remember, I am a computer science student here at the University of Idaho. This being the case, I have chosen to do a computer science term for my definition. I think it's fairly common knowledge that the language that computers understand is not a human language. Most people also know that most programmers don't program in a language that computers can understand. They have to get it translated by other tools. One of these tools, my definition, is a compiler. When a human being writes a piece of code, it doesn't just automatically get translated in what it needs to be for the computer to understand. Some languages are compiled languages, meaning that they have to be submitted to another program, the compiler, before they can be ran. The compiler changes the form of the written code, but not the meaning. A compiler that would change the meaning of the human written code is a bad compiler. Compilers are generally also language and machine specific. When I say machine specific, I mean a program that's compiled on a compiler meant for Windows couldn't be ran on a Mac, and vice versa. And when I say language, I don't mean English, Spanish, or any of the spoken languages. I mean languages like C or C++. You can't use a Java compiler to compile C++. So how does it do it? Well, when a programmer submits a program to be compiled, they submit their source code, their human-written code. This has to be changed into binary, the language that computers can understand. When a program is submitted to the compiler, the source code is then decomposed and restructured into binary. A good way to think of this is by using the analogy of a translator transcribing different writings. A translator would take an original text, say for example German, and then translate that into English. The words and their ordering may very well be different, but the meaning is the same. Following that analogy, you might be tempted to think of a compiler as a sort of interpreter. It isn't really. A compiler takes a written program and produces another text that can be executed whenever the user chooses. An interpreter will execute the written code immediately with no written interpretation produced. This is much like comparing a translator and an interpreter in real life. A translator will take one text and produce another, to be read at any time. An interpreter takes a sentence and speaks it out loud, from one language to another, only to be heard once. You can ask the interpreter to repeat what they said, but you don't have a copy for yourself. I hope this presentation has given you a clearer idea of how programmers actually turn their code into something that computers can use. It isn't black magic, it's just a program that changes the format of another program into ones and zeros. It's actually pretty cool. Once again, this is Paden Rumsey, signing off.